Hi, in this video, we're going to learn how to find the number of cells in this range that has formula, right? So, do you know how many cells that has formula, right? Um, but one is that you can look at it one by one, right? The other is that you can make use of sum product, and then you have a formula called is formula. So you can use this to check actually is formula. What is this? Your false. And you can see that that is these two are a formula. So and once you got this done, you got to sum it up. But the thing is that if you want to sum a column like this, right, it give you 0. It's because that you just simply cannot do that. So how about a negative? That's the trick. When you put two double negative, it turns the true into 1, and then they sum it up. So you can use this to sum it up, right? So, however, right, we want to do it all together. So, therefore, we use a sum product. Negative is formula, and highlight this list. So without creating an additional column. So then we have this and enter. You get a 2 as well. Okay, that's way this is using Excel formula to calculate. And the other way we can use of is make use of the formulas, the VBA, right? So we fire up this thing and then we add up this code here. Right, this is the code to calculate. So we can see that later on we have that cell here, F1 will show the value. So it's counting the using this range. So using active sheet, right, which is the current sheet, right, and they are looking at this range. So then I run the code, and you can see there's 2, right. And the way is to use the source dot special cell and just count which cell has a power has this, and then dot count. So using these special tools, right, you can ask Excel to get you the count. So without using the sum product. The other way is to use a for each loop to count, right? It's about the same, right? Using the source, and over here instead of using the inbuilt functions, right? Here we use the for each loop and look through the each cell in the source, right? So the C is a range. You set it as a variable as range object. And then if that cell has a formula, then you increment the counter. So counter begin with 0. Okay. So then counter and then +1. So we'll run this code and it will give you it will so obviously using this method it takes much more time. But this is to demonstrate how do you another example how to use the for each right in this range. So we can also change this to say active sheets dot use range. So instead of using that checking the every cell in the column B, right, we're going to just iterate it, and then we'll just look at just the use range, right? So we don't want this also, otherwise they will check on column C. So then we run this. Okay, this is much faster, right? So why is it 3? Now that's because, right, in this worksheet here, right, we are not just checking on this, but we also consider this and any other cell. These are called use range, right? Those cells that has value inside is called the use range. So they're looking into each of the use range and then check has a formula and to do a count. Okay, so that's about it, right? That is how you use the a for each loop. So you can type for each. After that, for each cell in the range you want to use or the collections, and then For each of them, right, you want to do some checking, you can use the if function and then check what do you want to check. Check whether that current cell has a formula. If it's there, then what do? You want to do a counter. You want to increment the counter, and then you go to the next use range, and that's about it. Okay. So it's equal to the next cell in that use range. Okay, and finally there's a message box to count. And thanks for watching.